So I'm working on this one at the moment, and I'm going to show you how I use one of my micro chisels. So I am up the wall with commissions at the moment, so I wanted to make a very quick video just showing you all of my favorite tools and how I use them. I use slightly different techniques and how I carve with each of these. So the first off, and something I'd advise every beginner to get, are lino cutters. This one is probably one of the cheapest tools I own, and I use it loads, particularly for when I'm carving logos for companies. It's really good at getting clean straight lines for letters and whatnot. You may have seen me use this before in my video, but it's basically you just scrape along and you can get really clean straight lines with that. This one is exactly the same. It's just got a much smaller tip on it. This is a 1.5 millimeter tip and really good for sort of super fine, faint lines. Obviously, we've got a craft knife. This is good for just getting into the sort of really small nooks and crannies. You know, use this one a little bit, but not as much as some of the others. The ones I use the most are my micro chisels. These are pretty hard to find. Occasionally come across them on Amazon when I buy and have bought extra sets of these. But essentially they're just more small little chisel tips, all different sizes. I think there's about 20 in the set, but these are the ones that I use the most. You know, all the same shape, just different sizes, little fine chisel tips. And I'll show you how I use these in a second. This one is off a set of hand wood carving chisels. This is one of the tools I use towards the end when I'm smoothing out my pumpkin, along with a sandpaper. Again, I'll show you how I use these in a second. This is really great. I mean, you can get these sort of hand wood carving chisels fairly cheaply. I think they're about £20 or something. This is the only tool I use from that set now. And obviously a brush just to dust off any excess. So I'm working on this one at the moment, and I'm going to show you how I use one of my micro chisels. I'm working on this jaw section. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just getting the corner of the chisel, and I'm going to do a crosshatch technique. So lots of little lines in one direction. Once I've roughed up the surface a little bit, I'm just going to change direction and go in a different way. And keep alternating directions until you've got a section which is sort of fairly roughed up. And with this, I just want to really just take off. I mean, this is going to be a bit of a dark patch. So I just want to take off small amounts of just the very surface of the waxy pumpkin skin. Don't want to take too much off at all. Okay, the next tool I'm going to use is my domed chisel. And this is just going to take off some of those bits. I mean, take a lot longer and play around with it. And then I usually do this towards the end of the pumpkin. Just a little bit of sandpaper will give you a really smooth texture to where you've carved. Let's find a section where it needs doing. So like these teeth here are a little bit roughed up at the moment. So I'm just going to use a coarse piece of sandpaper just to blend that roughed up bit into the dark section there. And I'd say that's something I usually do towards the end of the pumpkin, or towards the end of the carve, just to finish it off. But hopefully that shows you, you know, some of the tools I use and the main techniques I use when carving. So I think I'm about halfway through this one at the moment. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see how this one turns out.